Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I thought that was my hand for a minute. My name is Heather Thomas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the United Kingdom. And I'm here live on a Thursday evening to do a spot of crafting with you. So thank you for joining us, whether you're watching live or on the replay. It's lovely to have you. I'm going to use something from the new mini catalogue. I say new, it's been out 2 weeks. I'm aware that some of my customers still don't have a copy of the mini catalogue. My mailing bags have just arrived, so hopefully these will go in the post to you soon. Hey Joanna, how are you doing? So yeah, two weeks we've had this already, but it runs until the end of April. And we're going to use the hot air balloon suite today. And I just absolutely love the colours in this one. It really spoke to me as soon as I saw it. Just these pale pastel spring summery colours. Hello, Katie. How are you? I've said a couple of times I've never had a Stampin' Up hot air balloon suite. I lied. Apparently, I have. One of my downline sent me the pictures of the things that we made in class. I just have a very, very bad memory. So yeah, I have had a hot air balloon stamp set before, but I obviously sold it. I don't no longer have it. But this one really, really spoke to me. You could recreate these designs that I'm going to show you today with any of the hot air balloon kind of stamps and dies. I love these samples in the catalogue. Some really cute ideas. One of the things I really wanted to show you is, hey Becky, is how to create a watercolour background. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm ready to sit our hot air balloons on. It's great this suite is different than the regular bright stuff. Yes, I really like that they've done it in pastels rather than brights. And the paper's gorgeous, so I'll show you that. The gems are gorgeous, the twine, so it all kind of comes together. So you've got your embellishments and your twine, 3-pack of twine, so you're not going to run out for a while. The embellishments are getting used a lot for a lot of different projects. And hey Louisa, nice to have you join us, thank you. And this is some of the kind of designs of paper. Again, this has had a lot of use. So the kind of hot air balloons on that side. You've got this one. This one was lovely. I've used that in a different card that will be coming up later in the month for a blog hop. Love that, the kind of stripy. It's gorgeous. And you get loads of sheets of each design. So that's a kind of pool party. This one's beautiful. There, I say beautiful. It's probably the wrong word, just for a chevron. But and that side's got a lot of use as well. Stripies and the hot air balloons. And then these two are not like so much my favourite. You've got clouds and little diamonds and spotties, and that's really pretty. I quite like that one, the kind of wave effect. So those are the papers, the gems and the ribbons, right, twine rather. So I'm just going to grab out one strip of this stripy DSP because we're going to need that. And we're going to make a 7" by 5" card today. So I'm going to show you how to make a slightly bigger card than we might normally make. And then this is the stamp set. So you've got this stamp here that you can stamp the sentiment into the middle bit of, or you can stamp this bit in the middle bit of, or you can stamp these bits, I think, in the middle of, or you can put, there's a die cut, which I'm going to show you, you can put the middle of. Love the party dots. Yes, party dots are cute. This little die fits in the middle of here, or this die fits in the middle of here. So you've got lots of options for building. And then this one here is like that fills in those. So we're going to show you that as well today. But yeah, really versatile. And then you've got lots of bits. I haven't used all of these bits, I will say. You've got a lovely heart shape. Because you can make a heart balloon as well. Oh, if I can get it off the sticky. So that one and that one, and you've got a little banner, so you can make some little banners to go across. Still not sure about the colours. It depends. Honestly, we're all different, aren't we? I love the colours, but they're my kind of colours. So, so that one kind of fits inside there and creates a nice little kind of heart-shaped balloon. Or you could just use the heart on its own. And then that one kind of fits over the bottom of the balloon if you wanted a, I don't know. I haven't used that bit. The little baskets are cute. One die cut, one to cut out the stamp. Yeah, really nice set of dies. And the clouds. The clouds are gorgeous. I've used those a lot. That one and that one. So I really like those. So yeah, I'm going to get making my background because we want that to dry. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in my little thing for my glass mat. It's got a bit dirty on the back, but that's fine. It will just wash off under the tap. Just going to stick that on there and then it won't move. And what that's going to give me is this little ink well, you can see, that I can kind of use for my, rather than having to use an acrylic block, which is what I normally use, I can just use that little ink pad. And then I've got myself a piece of watercolour cardstock, and this is 10 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and we're going to mount it eventually with a couple of mats and layers onto the front of a 7-inch by 5-inch card. So yet again, I've mixed up my metrics and my imperials, but that's just me. So I'm going to grab my balmy blue Stampin' ink refill, and I'm just going to put a little bit. Don't need massive amounts for this. I do want it quite light. It's probably a bit too much even. A couple of drops, and I'm going to be using the large brush. The large brush from the water brush collection. I've got a pot of water just because I find that a bit easier. Ah, hello, Kayla. Morning from Australia. Good morning, good morning. Just as you're getting up, we're getting ready to go to bed. I love that. It just amazes me the time differences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually wet the cardstock before I start to wash my ink on. I'm going to try and do that here so that you can see. So I'm just going to pick up some water. And I'm just going to lay it on. Water is your friend. It doesn't matter if it goes on the glass mat. Doesn't matter if it makes a mess. But I would say water is your friend when watercolouring. You don't be too scared about putting a nice coating of water on. Don't want it sopping, but you want it to be damp. That will just help your wash to work better. So a wash is where we kind of put the colour down, all the way down. And I'm just going to then put some water into my palette here and just create myself that nice, so move it over a little bit there, you can see, create myself that nice blue. Again, water being my friend, so adding some water. We can always add more. And I'm just going to lay that on. And you can see it just start to wick down the page. If you want it a bit darker, add a bit more colour. So I don't want it too light, but I also don't want it like crazy, crazy dark. That might be a bit too light. So again, we can always add more. If you're running out of water, just keep adding it. I always try and work one way across the page, but if I need to just scooch down the edge, I will. And what this means, I'll show you on a little bit of watercolour cardstock in a minute what would happen if you didn't have enough water. So I'm just adding some more of that ink, just darkening that up a little bit. I'll read your comments in a minute, just while I'm painting. I can't. It does take a bit of my attention. Okay, so that's our background. But what I want to do is show you how to create some clouds. So I've just got a bit of scrunched up kind of tissue paper, and I'm just going to lightly dab. Can you see that's just removing the ink? Let me see if I can do it. You don't want to do it while it's too, don't want them to be harsh clouds, but you can see I'm just creating those clouds in the background and removing that blue ink with my with my paper towel. And I want quite a lot of clouds in here, I think. And they're generally clouds are flat along the bottom, and then they've got that raised ridge along the top. So like a flatter bottom and then more of a mountainous top. I'm hoping you can see that. Hoping you'll see it a bit better when it dries as well. But really quick, really easy. It's a bit lighter than the one I did earlier, but I'm happy with that, so I'm going to leave that to dry. And then I can clean off my glass mat. I love that glass mat for that reason. It's amazing when watercolouring. Beforehand, I would have had my grid paper and it would have been soaking wet. And it would just be a bit of a nightmare. Hey, Pixie Petal. Hey, Jenny. Just bought more watercolour paper. Thought you should practice. Oh, amazing. Oh, I'm really pretty. Yeah, do get practicing. Hey, Elizabeth. How are you? A nice early summer morning. That sounds delightful. I wish I could have a nice early summer morning. Golden Retriever always gets me up early, which is great for catching some of your favourite live videos. Oh, bless you. Thank you. And it's lovely to have you join us. Never thought of doing clouds. Oh, yes. Yeah, clouds. I love creating clouds like that. So quick and easy. And to be honest, you can even go in like now, even though it's kind of semi-dry, you just basically get a lighter, more subtle effect. So you have to push a little bit harder to get the ink up, but you can just go in and just create some of those textured and clouds. Still, well, you can't do it when it's completely dry, but whilst it's still a little bit damp, you can just go in still and add that. I don't think you can do too much, to be honest. Just make a nice cloud. You're starting to see that really there, aren't you? Would have been better if my background was ever so slightly darker. It looks darker in person. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to stamp some balloons, I think. Yeah. So I've got a little scrap of white. I'm looking for a bit of a bigger. There we go, that one will do. A bigger scrap. So the colours I've got are Pecan Pie, Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, and Fresh Freezer. You can see my Bubble Bath has got a lot of use, can't you? It's my very dirty ink pad. So the big balloon, this one, I'm going to stamp in Fresh Freezer. And then I'm going to stamp the basket as well. So I've got the big basket and the little basket that I want to stamp. And I've got this one here made up of the two parts, this one and this one. And I want Up, Up and Away, It's Your Birthday. I like that one. Oh, Up, Up and Away, Hooray, It's Your Birthday. I like that one. So this is going to be in Fresh Freezer. I know, of course I've got Bubble Bath. Bubble Bath, I love that colour so much. That and Lemon Lolly, I was so sad when So Saffron was taken away when we did the colour refresh. And then I saw the new colours and I was just really happy. So I think that might just fit on that way around. So a nice one in Fresh Freezer. The other thing this little mat is good for is putting your stamps. Put your stamps on this bit when you're working with them. So if you don't know how to get this glass mat, you can get this from Stampin' Up when you join in January and February. We've got a wonderful joining offer. So it'd be lovely to have you come and join the team if you fancied it. So do reach out, ask me any questions you've got. But yeah, it's a fabulous little kind of perk, free with your kit when you purchase it. So we've got these two bits. Now I'm going to do the outer bit in Lemon Lolly and the inner bit in Bubble Bath, I think. So I'm going to stamp my Bubble Bath first. I'm never sure which is easiest to do first, but obviously leave yourself plenty of space because this is just the inner bit. So we're going to stamp that one first. And then we are going to stamp this one. Talking of Stamp Camp, just while I do this as well, my Stamp Camp is open for booking. We'll close for booking, however, on Sunday. So if you're thinking of coming and joining us for Stamp Camp, do get in touch. If you need a little bit more time for payment, because I know January is hard, give me a shout. But booking does close on Sunday for orders through me. If you can still order online, you order the sweets for the Notes of Nature. It's the Notes of Nature kit. For anybody who hasn't seen, it's all in my Facebook. But yeah, if you're not sure what it is, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to talk you through it. Hey Carol, nice to see you. You're not too late. You just missed our watercolour background that we've just made. It's starting to dry nicely with some clouds. All I did was a nice wash of watercolour and then dab away at it with the kitchen roll. I'm hopeful that I've done enough. You never know when to stop. It's the hardest thing. So I'm just going to see if I've got a scrap bit of paper. There we go, to stamp off on, because these baskets are a little bit too. The pecan pie is a little bit too dark for my liking, so I've just gone a little bit lighter, stamping it off. In two minds about Stamp Camp, that's no worries. You make your decision. I'm not sure if you're freestyle at getting it done as opposed to working with you on the class. Yeah, it is a freestyle, so you get the kit in the post and then you do it at your leisure. But I know that's totally not for everybody. So yeah, you get PDF tutorial on the make and takes in the post. And then there is a day set, but it's not live with me all day. So it's slightly different than my kind of extravaganza that I did last year. So I'm now going to die cut these. The other thing, I rave about this mat because I love it. The other thing I love is that your mini machine no longer slips and slides on the grid paper. It grips it nice and clean and tight on the glass mat. So I'm going to bring in the dies and we are going to cut this big one. I might just do one at a time. I'm not sure if I'm feeling brave enough to cut them all in one go or patient enough to tape it. So I might just do one at a time. Yeah, catch up the beginning bit just to see how I've done that little background. I love making watercolor backgrounds, and this set is perfect for it because of the clouds that we want and the kind of watercolor wash background for the sky. And it's so quick and easy, so simple. So that one's just going to die cut out using that die. Yeah, so I'm thinking of doing that again come Christmas time, Katie. So I'm thinking of doing that again in November. So the same as I did last year, Christmas online extravaganza. So the stamp camp and my event as well, because it was so fun last year. So I'm definitely thinking of doing that again. So I've got these two. So your basket dies you've got 3 of. So don't get them kind of confused. You've got, I can't get it off, but this one, can you see that one? Can you see that? No, you can't. That one there is just a die cut, so that will cut you out just the die. And then these two are the ones that cut out around the stamped image. Yeah. So they'll go nice and neatly just around that stamped image. They're not as difficult as I thought they would be to line up, actually. Just line them up against the bottom, she says, and now it will all go wrong. And then run those through. Oh, so my day shifts at work are done for the week. I'm on the night shift tomorrow night. So, but yeah, glad that I don't have to get up at 5:15 tomorrow morning. Glad that I don't have to go into the office again during the daytime. Not a massive fan of that, if I'm honest. What have you all been up to this week? Work been busy? Oh, hang on, let me bring the die cut machine in again because I need to cut another die. So it's just this one. And I thought that looked really, really pretty. And I'm going to cut that out of the yellow. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning from Sydney, Australia. I've got a toy koala bear. And he's so cute. I'd love to see a koala bear in person. It's one of my bucket lists. I'd like to hold a koala bear. They look so cute. I bet they're not actually really cute in real life, though, are they? As in, like, are they quite fierce animals? I don't know much about them. Anyway, I sidetrack. Okay, so we've got a little bit of lemon lolly cardstock there, and I'm just going to stick that on. So it does create quite a lot of kind of offcuts, so they can go in my recycling bin. And then I like to just use the pokey tool just to get all those bits out. I know some demos leave them in, but I like them just cut out. And then that's going to go straight on with a little bit of liquid glue. Koalas are stinky. Are they actually? Do they really smell? Oh, mine doesn't stink. He's a little cutie pie. There's a little bit of glue around the outside. One of those funny colds at the moment. There's not really a cold at all. I just every now and again get a bit croaky. I get sneezy, and I've got ever such a slightly runny nose. Russ has had a really bad cold recently, but he's over it now, which is good. They have koalas at Longleat. No. Oh. I might have to go to Longleat and see the koalas. They really smell. It's to do with all the... Oh, really? Oh, that's fascinating. All the eucalyptus they eat. Okay, so we've got 2 balloons. We've got our 2 baskets. How cute are they? And we've got our watercolour background, which is now dried. and I've just got dried. I say dried, it's damp to the touch, so I might just give it a quick once over with the heat tool. I will just leave it for another second while I kind of cut the cardstock that it's going to sit on, and we've got the sentiment to do. So this is quite a quick card. I have actually got a second one planned, which is quite useful because I might need it tonight. I didn't realise how quick this was going to be. So I've got this piece of cardstock here, which is not quite that big enough. So it needs to be 10.5. I'm probably wasting a bit of cardstock doing this, but never mind. 10.5 by 14.5 for that one. So that can go in the scraps. And then this one is going to be 11 by 15. I just go up in half-centimetre increments. It makes the maths much easier than trying to do funny millimetres. Koalas are pretty cute. I agree with Katie Jones, they do actually sting. I didn't realise you knew so much about koala bears, Katie, if I'm completely honest. It surprised me. There we go. That's going to go on there like that. That's going to go on there like that. That's going to go on there like that when it's dry. I just wouldn't want to stick it down when it's wet. But it just gives you a nice kind of border around. I might just trim ever such a slight bit off this background. I thought I'd cut them exactly to size, but let's just chop a bit off this side. And a little bit, oh, good question, a little bit off the bottom maybe. The only reason I'm doing that is because when I laid it on here, my border didn't quite seem the same as my blue border. So that my yellow and blue borders didn't look the same. So that looks much better. Okay, now it is potential, I must admit, it is potential when you water something that it can change size. It will normally go back to its original size when it's dry. So hopefully I didn't do that prematurely. Then we just need a strip of designer series paper. I'm going to cut that down to 1 inch by 14 centimetres. 1 inch by 14 centimetres. And that's going to go down the left-hand side of our card. Then we are going to bring in the cut and emboss machine again, because I want to stamp this sentiment, up and away, it's your birthday, onto a piece of basic white. I know, Cindy's coming to Australia. Isn't that lovely? That's top of our list for March. Yeah, I saw that. Holding a koala in Melbourne. Hopefully she'll be able to do that. Katie went to Australia, so one of your besties. Went to a koala kangaroo sanctuary and learned. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like going. I think that's a great idea to go to all the different on stages around the world, and then you'll get to experience and see all those different things. Okay, so I'm using this die cut set today, the Stylish Shapes, and I'm using, question because I don't actually know, this one. So it's the kind of widest. I call this the short fat one. This one here, so the short fat one. You've got a long one, a long thin, long fat, and then short thin, short fat. And they are actually different sizes. So I'm just going to use that one. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Fresh Freesia, wherever I put the ink pad. There it is. My table is already a mess. I'm only making one card. So I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. I think that needs re-inking, my Fresh Freesia. It's looking a little bit pale. A bit pale, a bit light. So that can go over the side. Bring this back round. I can't wait for Rotterdam in March. I'm really excited to go to Rotterdam with my team. There's actually quite a few of us going. I love the onstage events. So yeah, really excited for that. I'm just lining this up so it's not quite central, so that it's more over on this side and it's got more gap on this side, so more space on this side. And I'll show you why in a minute, just because we're going to cut it. So I wanted it to have a straight edge for me to be able to cut. We're going out on the Tuesday, fly out on the Tuesday to Amsterdam, and so we're going to Rotterdam, which I've never been to. I've been to Amsterdam several times, but never been to Rotterdam that I remember. say no more. And I'm really excited. So we're flying on Tuesday and fly back on a Sunday, which will be amazing. So I'm going to bring my snips, and what I'm going to bring my trimmer. I don't trust myself to cut this straight. I just want to cut off that triangle at the end. So I'm just going to line that up and then chop that. So I've got a nice kind of flag. Nice little flag sentiment. Oh, Kaylee, you've been where I would have been. Wouldn't that be amazing if you two kind of met before or seen each other in passing, and now you're hanging out online? So this now we can just assemble, I think. So it's basically dry. Yep, that's basically dry. So I'm going to go in with a bit of wet glue and just stick this all together. Sometimes when you watercolour and then kind of make the card up, it kind of wrinkled a little bit, kind of it's bowed ever so slightly. Can you see that? So I do find that the wet glue can take a little time to dry, and you might just need to hold, because the cardstock is going to want to lift. So you just might need to hold it in place a bit more than you would normally. I'm struggling to line that up for some reason. So it just might need a bit more of a helping hand to stay flat. Those clouds look lovely. They're so subtle. And then that can go straight onto the Balmy Blue. So this is Lemon Lolly cardstock and Balmy Blue cardstock. I'm not far off needing a new glue, I don't think. Ah, Becky, yeah, it's going to be amazing. It feels like such a long time because the last one was November. So for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, on stage is Stampin' Up's kind of convention, like where we all get together. And this time it's in 3 venues around the globe, like 3 live events. So one in Europe, one in South Pacific, and one in America. And yeah, we all get together and have an amazing time, seeing new products, swapping projects, loads of fun, recognition for people's achievements. So we get to do a lot of standing up and whooping. So this is just hanging over ever so slightly. So I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to try and cut it to size once it's on my cardstock. I don't know if that's brave or foolish, to be honest. But I know I just want to kind of cut it at that line. I think foolish would have been the right word to choose. That's better. There we go. Obviously didn't measure it quite right. Now we can stick on the balloons, I think. So we'll go for this one. No, I'm going to stick the sentiment on first. So I'm going to stick my little sentiment on here with some dimensionals. Brave, and I rocked it. Bless you. It's like one of those, isn't it? It's like, do I or don't I? Do I or don't I? I'm not quite sure. But I know I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I know a lot of us are. And I don't know if I could have just tolerated it being a bit off. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm very much, it's handmade. Just, it is what it is. Certainly if it's towards the end of my card and I've made a little tiny slip up, I'm very much a case of just accept it, embrace it. But if I think I can fix it, I probably will try. So that balloon there is going to go, and I'm just sitting it so that I can see the clouds still. I know I'm not going to be able to see all of them, but they're going to go something like that. The one underneath is going to go down with liquid glue, and the one over the top is going to go down. Doesn't that just look pretty? Doesn't that bring it all together? Hello, Claire. How are you? Ah, hey, Emma. Nice to see you. I missed you there. You have held a koala. It's an awesome experience. I would love to. And do you know what the other thing is on my bucket list to do? And I really, really need to make these bucket list items happen. Is to go in a hot air balloon. I've always wanted to go in a hot air balloon. When I was a little kid and I lived in the village, we used to have hot air balloons fly over all the time. And I remember looking at them and chasing them on my bicycle. And I used to ride for miles chasing the hot air balloon with absolutely no hope of ever catching it. I don't know what I was was going through my mind, but just fascinated by these floating colourful objects in the sky. Hey Shaz, nice to see you this evening. Yeah, I have a watch back. We're actually going to make another card because it's only 1/2 and this one's almost finished. So I have got 2 cards prepped for you. I was prepped, organised well ahead of schedule. I had this card prepped weeks ago. Had the live scheduled. I'm so proud of myself. It doesn't happen very often. I've got to try and make it happen for February now because it was a pleasure to come on tonight. I didn't have to set the YouTube video up or do any of the prep work. It'd already been done. I'd done everything, apart from get the products out, that is. That one's going to go up on dimensionals. I haven't put the basket on dimensionals this time. I did on my other one, but I forgot. So, and then we're going to tie a cute little bow. Joined late, been out for a school thing, and then I needed sort of dinner. Yeah, we had really nice dinner. We've had the same dinner for 2 nights in a row now. Fish, so sea bass with boiled new potatoes. Russ has made like a creme fraiche sauce. He is the master cook in our house. And he did carrots, steamed carrots and more stew. It was lovely. Really, really pretty. Really, really nice. Tasty. I'm just looking at my card going, oh, pretty. So we've got some gems and a bow to go on here. I'm going to stick this onto this 7x5 inch card though, because that just helps to lift it, I think. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, making a bigger card and just sticking this smaller kind of card front onto the front of a large. You get a bigger border at the top and the bottom than you do the sides, but I'm really okay with that. A nice happy birthday card. So we'll finish it off with a little bit of twine. And of course the glue dots. Yeah, very, very tasty. Very tasty. Some places that you won't let you hold koalas, but you can stand and pat for photos. Oh, how cute's that? Yeah, I think you do have to be like, it's always a tricky one with kind of animals, isn't it? I've always wanted to go swimming with dolphins, but I'm still not quite sure how I feel about the morals and the ethics of it. But I may have the opportunity this year, and I really just don't know whether I will go for it or not. It's just, yeah, a bit of a moral dilemma, these kind of animal experiences, depending on kind of how you feel. But I do think animals in captivity for educational purposes is actually really important. Like you said, Katie, you learn a lot about it, and we learn to respect, I think, if we can see them more. But it's also quite a difficult moral thing to see them all in captivity, isn't it? Okay, so that bow is just going to go on there. I'm actually just going to cut those tails ever so slightly, just a little bit, and I want them the same length, so let's pick them up and just do that, and then bring in some of these gorgeous gems, I think. Oh, Shaz, that would be amazing. I am going to Rotterdam. Yes, we were just talking about it. I am going to Rotterdam. I'm incredibly excited. I can't wait. Really looking forward to it. So I've used the fresh freesia ones of these, and I think I'm going to use them again because they're pretty, although I'm going to run out. So maybe I'll use the pink ones instead. This probably isn't the best way of doing it, but yeah, I can't wait. So I'm flying out with 2 other members of my team, and the rest are going by train. So, and then they're going out just the day later, but we'll have plenty of time to see. Oh, we could meet. Shaz, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Let's set that up to meet out in Rotterdam. I've got quite a lot of people I need to meet in Rotterdam, so it's going to be like kind of stops for coffees, or not that I drink coffee, but in the rest times I'm going to be like messaging people saying, where are you? Where are you? Part of the Crazy Crafters. Oh, part of Kylie Bertucci's group. Oh, very loud. Bless you. So that is my card, my first card. So this is the one I made earlier, just to show you the slight difference. You can't actually tell, no. They look very, very similar. I thought this one looked a bit darker, but very, very similar. So I've now got 2 lovely birthday cards. And then we will do another one because we've got time, and it's fairly straightforward. I've got 25 minutes. So it's another 5x7 card. And this time we're going to do a bit of ink blending. I'm going to use the cloud dies and a different stamp. So we are going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock. that measures 7 by 11. 7 by 11. This is my little kind of scraps drawer box. Never really know what's in here at a given time, to be honest. That might be big enough though. Yep, 7. Oh, it's not straight at that edge. Hang on. That's it. 7 by 11. And I'm going to bring in the Balmy Blue ink again, but this time with my blending brush. And again, this is great to do with the glass mat because it can just be cleaned up afterwards. Oh, by train, yes. Do you know what? I was really tempted because I would love to go by Eurostar, but it just timings didn't work for me getting back with work. So yeah, the flight worked a bit better because I've got to work the Monday, I think it is, which is a bit of a shame, but it means I didn't have to take any annual leave because Rotterdam is actually in my rostered week off, which is amazing. Very handy. Oh, you go with Sandra. Amazing. So I'll look out for Sandra and I'll come and find you because I know Sandra. You're going to have a good time. Have you been before? If not, you're going to have an amazing time. So I'm just going around the edges of this. I hope you can see. Just going around the edges. Not too dark, but not too faint either. Ah, thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Yeah, the cloud technique, honestly, give it a go. It's magical and it's so quick and easy to do. So just coming in a little bit more and creating that nice kind of, it's like a vignette where it's kind of faded into light in the middle and out to dark. I'm just doing a little bit more. You don't want to overdo blending to begin with because you can always add it, but you can't take it away. You'll get bored of me saying that one day. So I'm going to grab a little bit of, I need different colours cardstock now. So I need Fresh Freesia and Azure Afternoon. Which is a bit of a strange combination, but I thought it worked. So I need 2 pieces of Azure Afternoon. So 1 there and 1 there. I'm going to grab 1 piece that's measuring 11.5 by 7.5. So 7.5 by 11.5. And watch as this Balmy Blue layer just goes on there and then really pops. Hopefully you can see that around the edge. It's a bit dark in here today. It's still the middle of winter. I'm just going to grab a new glue because that one's frustrating me. I don't mind using glue that's run out when it's just me on my own, but when I'm on a live, a nice fresh one, look. That can go on there. Put a little bit too much down that corner, so just scrape that off with my nail. Okay, and then we are going to stamp a sentiment. So I'm going to stamp it in Azure Afternoon as well because I wanted to stand it out a little bit more. Oh, your first time, honestly, you're going to love it. On stage is brilliant. So same sentiment as before, up, up and away, hooray, it's your birthday. That's going to go down the centre in the middle. Just like that. Then we're going to grab the Fresh Freesia again and I'm going to stamp, I wonder if I've got enough left on here to stamp my balloon. In the Fresh Freesia. Ah, where is it? Where is the Fresh Freesia? Here it is. Oh, sorry, it makes a bit of a noise, the mat. So that's going to go like that. Then I'm going to grab straight in. So we did a die cut last time, but this time I'm going to infill with a stamp instead. So I've got Lemon Lolly. And this stamp here. that nice patterned one. And that's the pattern that matches the designer series paper as well. So no tap dancing glue for me then. No, definitely not. No, I like my fresh glue. I can't be doing with it when it's run out. I do sit there, I do like get the last of it out. I'm not wasteful with it, but I need to be in the right frame of mind. And they normally go to classes, to be honest. They curse me for it when when they're the ones that have to do it. It's just normally my default. I'm like, oh, that's run out. I'll put that in the pile. And then it eventually ends up in a class pile. And then I'm just going to bring in my large basket again. Yeah, I'm really liking. So if you joined late, I am really enjoying using this part of my mat, my little mat, to put my used stamps in, because I'm terrible. I don't clean them straight away. I normally leave them all over my desk, but this way I know where they are. I can see them. They're not going to get lost, and they're not going to get anything else dirty as well. So I like that little tip. Again, stamp that off on a scrap piece of paper, and then we can die cut that one out as well. It's not like me to get 2 cards out in an evening. Is it because I'm being prepared and organised? You can see I've been cutting the alphabet die. That was last week on my live where I made the mini album. So if you didn't watch that one, I made a little mini album. That would be amazing with these 6x6 papers as well, to make a mini album using these papers. If you didn't watch it, go back last week. Go back on YouTube and yeah, watch last week's live video if you fancied. That's not an instruction, just a suggestion. Then you can have a look and see what I'm talking about. So that one's going to go on there. Again, I'm just going to do one at a time. It's not worth the hassle. Ah, yes, I need my clouds as well. And then let's grab the clouds and the large basket die. So there's my basket. Just imagine all those people sitting in the basket. Yeah, I fancy a sunset. What I fancy is a sunset balloon ride. Who's been on a balloon ride? Come on, tell me if you've been up in a hot air balloon. I fancy a sunset balloon ride, or a sunrise actually. I love a sunrise in Africa. So if somebody could please tell my other half that's what I fancy, that would be amazing. He won't make it happen, bless him. But you know, you can live, you can hope, can't you? So I'm just going to cut some clouds. Now this cardstock now is a bit dirty. My plates are a little bit dirty, so I'm just going to grab some fresh white. Fresh white cardstock, and I want 2 small and 1 large. Oh, I've made a slight error, but it's okay, we can fix it. Just with the order that I'm kind of assembling this in, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. If you can guess, then you're quite clever, because I always forget what I've done wrong. So there's 1 large, 1 small. Let's just cut another small one, and then we're good to go. The clouds are just so cute. I must say I've got another pack of this GSP because we're using this design series paper to make a really cute kind of pop and twist card in my upcoming class. So I'm hoping the ladies are going to absolutely love that with this suite. It's really, really pretty. I had a lot of fun making it. So my clouds, what I want to do is stick them over here like this. And it's always just easier to kind of stick it on and then chop off at the edge. But because I've already stuck the white onto the blue, it's much trickier to do that. Hello, Rachel. We've got about a quarter of an hour left. I'll show you the card so I can see the numbers have popped up slightly. So a lot of you kind of jumping on. So this is one that we've just made. So we did a bit of a watercolour background. So feel free to catch the replay afterwards. But we just made the watercolour background, painted it, and then dabbed out these clouds with a kind of bit of tissue. So that's the first card. Absolutely better late than never. Louisa, it is a class. It's the Maker's House. Yes. yeah, if you come into the Maker's House or my dad's class next month, well, not my dad's class, it's just in my dad's house. Wouldn't that be funny if my dad ran a class? Then you'll be making that pop and twist card. So I've just had to trim that as best I can to a 90-degree angle. It would be easier if you didn't have to do that, if you did it first. As in, did it onto the white and then chopped it off at the side. So that one's going to go up there something like that. And that one's going to come down here something like this. Love how the clouds look against that background. And again, just chop that away at a 90-degree angle. And that's going to go on there like that. So I can tell that's not quite 90 degrees. So I just need to trim a slither. Thank you, Claire. It's a great set. I know you like the masculine sets. I'm not a massive fan of the masculine sets. I tend to just give my family. You'd think I would be because it's my dad and my brother, but I don't really enjoy creating with them. So they're just going to get flowery things. They both like flowers. I might, because my dad is quite handy and with his tools. I might use the papers. I've seen some demos do some great things with the kind of men-themed papers from Celebration. I have sent a newsletter out with all the kind of links to the catalogue. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, give me a shout and I can give you a link to the online catalogue if you need it. So that's going to go something like that. I may or may not have stuck these in the right place. But we're going to pop our balloon, something like that. So we can then kind of slide that one in under there where we think it's about right. Then pop the balloon basket on. I'm going to put the basket on dimensionals this time, actually. So the basket and the balloon up on dimensionals. These big ones are a little bit big for there, so I'm just going to grab a small one. I love our little dimensionals for this kind of thing. They're just perfect. Get that ready. Take all those off. I found a dimensional backing in my living room earlier as my rabbit was running around trying to eat the dimensional backing, bless him. He was searching for treats and came across that. So that's going to go down flat like that. It's not particularly straight, but it's flying through the air. Okay, so that's our kind of focal point. Now we've just got to kind of grab some papers. The backgrounds, so this is your afternoon. We're going to cut and we're going to do, let me just measure. Let me measure. 10 by 14, yeah, same size. So this one's going to be 11 by 15. Is that 15? Yeah, so we can do 11. Don't think a dimensional backing is much of a treat. No, it's really not. He's a bit of a doofus, our rabbit. They're so cute. But he's literally just kind of sniffing around. Look, they're right in front of him. But he can't see them. And he's just sniffing around looking for things. He comes across Ross's sock. And then he comes across the dimensional backing and tries to eat everything. It's like, no, that's not what you're going to want, mate. I might need a new bit of, look, all these scraps, I might need, there's a massive bag of scraps here. I may need, or I may not, no, there we go, a fresh piece. So this one is going to be 10.5 by 14.5, nearly. 10.5 by 14.5. So they should just layer one on top of the other. So the blue and the purple, it's a bit of a weird combination, but I think this works once it all comes together. And then the designer series paper. So I've used one strip of this one piece of this one actually. It might be wide enough. Yes. I love it when you find a piece of DSP, you haven't got to cut into a fresh sheet. And then one of the stripy, this one's nearly gone. I potentially might use that, I don't know. Should I use that one? I'm just worried about my class coming up, that's all. Oh, I really like the stripy one though. No, I probably ought to use the scraps. So I'll show you the other one with the stripy as well. But those two work really well together as well. This is the design I was saying echoes. Here, look, from the stamp into the paper. You've had a lava hot air balloon. You've done it. You have the hot air balloon fest at Longleaf, about 2 miles away from us. Love watching them from. Oh, Mary, wouldn't that be amazing? Longleaf Air Balloon Festival. Yeah, I could just sit there on a little lounger watching them all drift by. Something quite special, I think. So 14 by 10, that one is. And then this one is going to be, so 14 centimetres by 10 centimetres, and then 14 centimetres by 5 centimetres. Or just under 4.8 or something like that. By 14. And that uses up that little off cut of paper as well, which is being sensible, isn't it? Taking your dog off work. Oh, a day off work. I thought taking my dog off work. I was like, you haven't got a dog, Katie. Taking a day off work tomorrow to fully explore Amsterdam in a bit. Going to see if you can find some fun place to go. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. We were saying as well, when we go to Rotterdam, we could easily nip into Amsterdam on the train for a little bit. It's not far away at all if people have never been. See the Anne Frank's house. See the kind of canals. I love that you could just get a bike and cycle round as well. So that one is going to go straight onto there. This one is going to go straight onto here. This is the Fresh Freesia and Azure Afternoon and the Lemon Lolly. That is, I mean, it's looking really weird combination of colours, but you're going to Amsterdam overnight. Oh, amazing. So you're going to stay there one night and then head down to Rotterdam. That would be really cool. 40-minute trip. If you want to go to Anne Frank's house, you need to book. Yeah, does it get busy? I have been before, so maybe it's worth suggesting if people want to go, we book in. There we go. I don't remember booking last time though, but then I was over there for a couple of months. I was travelling. We didn't get any further than Amsterdam though, to be honest. We spent all our money. We went to Brussels afterwards, and then we made it to the south of France, and we set up tent in the middle of the night. It was pitch black, couldn't see anything, and we looked at the state of everything in the morning. The tent was an absolute mess, but we had the most amazing view out of over the Mediterranean, which we had no idea of. We walked for hours to find this campsite, and then we tried to get work down in the south of France. This was me and a friend of mine. And I was like, yeah, I can speak French. And I was really good at French. I learned French when I was kind of 5. Started learning French when I was about 5 years old. I went on my French exchange on my own when I was 11. And I was like, yeah, it'd be fine. I know what I'm doing. And oh my goodness, it was like Scottish. It was like a completely different language. I had no idea. Oh, hello, Sue. Nice to see you. I can't see your surname, sadly. I'll see it in a minute. I know quite a lot of Sues. I'm trying to think, Nigel Norton. But hello, nice to see you, and nice to have you join us. And we are nearly finished, though, sadly. We've got a few minutes left. I'm just going to finish assembling this card, but I'll kind of run people through. That one just sits on the top then. So 2 completely different cards we've done tonight. This one is going to go up on dimensionals. So the whole panel. I tend to try and use, let's see if I've got any actually, the kind of outside bits. So I just kind of chop a long strip, and then you can get a long strip and use the edges. So yeah, we tried to get work in a garlic farm, and I couldn't understand a word of what the farmer was saying, and so we decided to come home, having no money left and couldn't get any work. It was fun. We had a fun time. Oh, to be young again, eh? There we go. So summery. Yeah, it is very summery. Very, very summery. So I've done one more pastel and one much brighter so that you can see the difference in kind of colours with how this set works. That's going to go on here, trying to get it as straight as possible. I always struggle with straightness, if I'm completely honest. I'm not convinced that underneath panel is lined up. That looks good enough to me. And then we've got, I need some more of these. These are just, you can make them out of the basic thick white cardstock. But I must say, I had a stash in my stash, so I've been using the pre-made ones. You can't get them from Stampin' Up, sadly. Hopefully one day we'll be able to. And then that's just going to sit straight on the front. Oh, live near Maastricht when you were a kid for 5 years. Yeah, it's so great. I'd love to go and see the tulip fields. I think we're a little bit early for tulips. I would love to go and see the tulip fields one day. Be awesome. Arundel Castle's got some lovely tulip when they come out. Maybe I'll do that this year. So that's going to go on there like that. Thank you so much, Katie. And a few gems, I think, to finish. Needs a few gems. But I don't know where I've got them. There we go. I might put yellow ones on this time because I've still got all the blue ones. What do we reckon? Dark blue ones because I haven't used many of these. No, they're a bit dark. Yeah, let's go yellow, I think. And that one, I don't know, what do I reckon? Probably there. Great island off the North Coast called Texel that has the most awesome seal sound. Oh, wow! Oh, I did not know that. I've sailed up the canal. I took a French sail training vessel up the canal into Amsterdam as well. That was really interesting to see it from that side. But I did not know there was a little island off to the side of it. Yeah, lovely country. Okay, so there's our 2 cards. Thank you so much, Joanna. Wisley tulips are amazing. Oh, are they? Oh, Wisley's got some good tulips. Maybe I go there. Oh, Emma, that would be lovely. Of course you can invite yourself along. Tea and cake in the town sounds just perfect. Yes, let's do that this year. Let's make a deal and we'll go to Arundel, have tea and cake and go and visit the tulips. I would love to do that. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, everybody. So these are the 2 cards. This was a watercolour background. So if you missed that, go ahead back and watch the replay today or tomorrow or whenever you fancy. And then these are basically the same colour palette, just brought in a little bit of a brighter blue here to kind of show you something a little bit different. I was going to show you the one I did. So this is the one I did that had this kind of stripy background as well. But I had the off-color card of this one. Yeah, come and meet us there. Come and meet us there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love this suite. It's really, really pretty. It's in the mini catalogue. So if you don't have one of these yet and you'd like one, sorry for the rattling and clattering and banging. If you don't have a mini catalogue yet, give me a shout and I can get one out to you. I've just bought postage bags, so I need to get some sent out in the post. But it's this Lighter Than Air suite on page 33. You could get the whole suite for 70 quid. So that's the stamps, the dies, the papers, the gems and the ribbon. And you would be able to have a lot of fun with that one. So and lots of ideas for you here as well. Another set of ideas here as well. This is that little heart one I was talking about. Look, that's really cute where they've made a little heart out of there. Okay. Right, so that's all from me today. I will be back next week, I think. Where's my phone? I'm all over the place at work at the moment, so I'm never quite sure what I'm doing. But I will just check my diary. Yes, I will be here next Thursday evening, 25th, and we will be making something. I can't remember what, but it's already prepared. So it's already done, and I'm sure it's amazing. I'll put our video kind of link in the week, and yeah, come and say hi. Really, really nice to see you all. And yes, I'll see you on Wednesday, Katie. Definitely. It's a lovely suite, isn't it? So yes, thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me. I've got something new up on the blog that went up yesterday as well. So that's on my Facebook. So if you haven't seen my blog, it's just thesongbirdStamper.co.uk. You can find it on the internet. Head over there and check that out. And any questions about the Stamp Camp, you know where I am. Take care, stay safe, stay warm in this freezing cold snap that we've got, and I'll see you all again really soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Bye-bye.